domain that is required for the leader's effect to trigger. While heroes, you do not to a certain extent. Okay, so the effects are done. Now let's work on the stats. Let me just go back again to reread to make sure I'm not, there aren't any typos. So creatures and leaders under your control are angry, while this hero is under your control on the battlefield. At the start of your turns, you may deal 1 damage to any number of creatures on the battlefield. When a creature that's under your control first dies in a turn, there we go, I was right. Turgor. So that's Turgor. Let's Tigger the revenant effect of a creature in your mortuary. So this effect may not be as powerful as useful. Chances are most of the time you probably end up choosing these 2 effects. Players who end up choosing this 2 effect, unless they're playing a deck that has a bunch of cards that have revenant effects. So let's check out. Let me think what the attack points and the defense points of this creature should be, or could be. Okay, I can make this 0 to start off. It doesn't really need that much, It doesn't need that many attack points, because the more attack points, the more powerful the card is. Because it already has, creatures and leaders. For the most part, for this type of deck, you're obviously going to be playing a lot of creatures and leaders to a certain extent, because 2 of the effects are based off creatures on your side. And then defense points, let's see. I'll make it 1. Because you don't really need that much defense points, that many defense points. When you're already you're destroying most of the, you can pretty much deal with a lot of the creatures that your opponents have. And then if you have creatures, it's easy to deal with the leaders as long as you have creatures on your side. So you already have, you don't have to worry about your creatures, because you don't have to worry about your enemy's creatures, while your enemy still has to worry about your creatures and possibly your leaders. So having high stats really isn't too necessary for this hero. It will help, but it'll just make me increase the crystal cost of the hero even more than already, to balance it out. So let me try. So this is a powerful effect. This effect right here, the first effect, is actually very powerful. This effect is actually probably the most powerful. So I should probably make this a 19. Oh, maybe 21. Let me try this. 19 cost hero. Yeah, because this one is obviously, you can tell that the higher the crystal cost, probably the better, because this already protects your creatures by default. Because now your opponents are going to be hesitating to get rid of your creatures. Not only are your opponents going to be hesitating to get rid of your creatures, you get to deal 1 damage to any number of creatures. So that effect doesn't really limit you at all. The only limit is the number of damage that you can deal. So there are pretty much no limits of the number of creatures. You can pretty much just wipe out a player's board in 1 turn at the start of your turn. Simply by playing this hero. You can pretty much just win the whole game just from playing this hero, just because of this effect alone. I'll try 23 and just see how it looks for me. 23 cost is very useful because this is just oops, here we go. Let me change this real quick. Forgot to change. So this is a common version. The brilliant version deals 4 damage, so even it's even more powerful. And the brilliant version, you get to trigger the revenant effect of up to 4 creatures. So you can take 4 creatures from your mortuary back into your hand. When a creature dies on your first dies in a turn, it could be in your turn, so you can kill your own creature and then get it back with another creature with 4 more creatures. So this is a very powerful effect. This is a very powerful effect, and this is also a very powerful effect. So having it be 20 plus crystal cost isn't too bad. I'm just thinking whether I should make it a 20 cost, a 21 cost, and a 23 cost. Let me see. Let me try the 21 cost first. Cost. Yeah, I'll keep it as a 23. So 23 cost. That's a very high cost hero. But at the same time, the effect is actually very powerful. So let's save as. Give it there. 3. So now we've done 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll have 3 left to do. And then let me show you the brilliant version. So now you get to deal 4 damage to any number of creatures on the battlefield, and you get to trigger the revenant effect of up to 4 creatures. Let's see if it fits. Nope, it doesn't fit. I can bring this up here, bring this down there. Creatures. Yeah, I'll just do it like that. Creatures in your mortuary. And then there we go. So creatures and leaders under your control are angry while this hero is under your control on the battlefield. At the start of your turns, you may deal 1 damage to any number of creatures on the battlefield. Wow. When the creature that's under your control first dies in the turn, trigger the covenant effect of up to 4 creatures in near. Let me change it. In your mortuary. There we go. So this is a brilliant card. This is a very powerful brilliant card. Then save. Now for the unique version. This one deals 3 damage. You get to bring back 3 creatures from your mortuary. Up to 3 creatures from your mortuary. It's unique. Then the rare version. It may not seem like, you have a brilliant version. When you see the brilliant version, you see the common version, you think, why would I play the common version when I have the brilliant version? But there's actually a lot of decks that you don't even need the brilliant version. The common version is powerful enough to get the stuff done for you. Then you can use the brilliant version for something else, like crystals, because brilliant crystals obviously are more useful than common crystals. And brilliant crystals, which the crystal costs require, usually have more, allow you to play a higher cost card. So making your deck have brilliant crystals instead of brilliant heroes will give you the option of playing your heroes faster than having a brilliant hero and a unique or a rare crystal. Because if you have a unique or rare, a unique rare common crystal, now you're struggling to play. You're struggling to get crystals to play a hero. Even though the hero is powerful, it's only powerful if you can play it. So you really have to determine what you think is more beneficial for you when you're creating your deck. Do you want to quickly play higher cost cards, or are you satisfied with playing low cost cards that has a lot of powerful effects? You can choose. Either you can play a bunch of high cost cards that have less powerful effects, or you can play a bunch of low cost cards that have very powerful effects quicker. So it just depends. It just depends on how you want to play your game. And that's pretty much the beauty of the game. You get to choose whichever option you want. You get to choose. Oops. I haven't done the rare version yet. Okay. File save as rare. And I think it's been an hour. I think it's probably been an hour or so. So I'll stop the stream here, and I'll see you next time. Like I said, I don't have a set schedule, so you probably just follow me, or get notified. I think you can sign up to get notified when I'm online, when I'm streaming. So if you want to follow my stream, do that, and I'll see you next time.